If you watched the DNC, you also saw our first guest there on the national stage, a Texan and a Latina. And like a lot of people, she wondered whether a virtual convention would really work. But she says it turned out better than anyone expected, and that's mainly for one big reason. Congresswoman Veronica Escobar represents El Paso. It's the 16th congressional district in Texas, and that is from where she cast all of the state's Democratic delegates last week. That's also from where she spoke to us. Congresswoman, thanks for the time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Democrats are starting this next week with a lot of momentum after the DNC. The question is, how do you sustain that momentum through November when we have social distancing and all the separation?
Campaigns in the era of COVID are definitely far more challenging than ever before. You know, some of the best campaigns are run on the ground, in the field, face to face, at people's doorsteps. That's the way that I've run every single one of my own campaigns. That's what is behind winning campaigns. So in the absence of that, we have to use the tools available to us. And so, you know, that means, and I want to warn Texans, that means y'all are going to be getting a lot of phone calls. So you'll be getting texts, you'll be getting phone calls, you'll be getting mail. You know, there are fewer avenues for us to reach people, but we're going to use every avenue available.
And as you know, vice presidential candidates do not usually drive turnout, but does Kamala Harris's selection change anything for Joe Biden in the state?
I think this is a very different election year, and the selection of Senator Harris was monumental. Monumental for women, monumental especially for women of color. You know, the last 4 years for many of us, and I'm speaking to you as a woman of color, not as a member of Congress, but as a woman of color, we have had to bear witness to the fact that children were separated from their parents at the border. We have seen unaccompanied minors expelled into countries that are not their own. We have seen really cruelty like we've never known in our generation. And so the people of color and minority communities have been on the receiving end. And so for many of us, the pure symbolism of having selected such an incredible talent who also happens to be a woman of color really resonates for many of us.
But how, you mentioned monumental, how is this different from 2016 when you had Hillary Clinton on the ticket as the nominee?
Well, I felt incredible excitement about the possibility and the hopes of having our first woman president. And I, you know, along with many other Americans, thought that was what was going to happen, you know, based on polling, based on, you know, just what we were, our most aspirational hopes. This is different in a way because of the last 4 years, because of what we've seen, you know, sort of an absence of humanity and an absence of concern for families. And so to have a woman again on the ticket is important. But again, the fact that she's a woman of color, historic. And I'm a big believer in the idea of when you see it, you can be it. And so what I think it says to so many little girls across the country whose, you know, their skin color is more like mine than like yours, it says, if you can see it, you can be it. There's just, there's so much to me to celebrate around this selection.
Congresswoman, on Tuesday night of last week, you represented Texas at the DNC roll call, which you cast the delegates for this state. Back in February, you delivered the Democratic response to the State of the Union. Your political influence, your star is rising in the party, if you don't mind me saying, I think. But what do you want people to know about you back east in other parts of Texas, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, places like that?
It's not about me. It's about a community that has been targeted by this administration, a community that has been maligned, a community that has suffered tremendous trauma. And what I want everyone in the country and in the state to know is that El Paso represents the best of America. We are compassionate, we are kind, we are generous, we are hopeful, and we are loving. And as I mentioned on Tuesday night, in the face of hate, we choose love. always have, always will.
Congresswoman, thank you for the time.
Thank you so much.